The female village chief only fired an employee who slept on the job. But the next day, all the watermelons in the village were unsold. Even those that had already been sold were returned. She thought it was just a coincidence until she saw two major listed companies from the province offering everything they had to compete for Tony. Only then did she realize the huge mistake she had made. Tony had once been the top salesperson at a Fortune 500 company with an annual salary of over $1 million. But he had quit his job to fulfill his mother's last wish and returned to help his village sell watermelons. In just 3 years, he transformed a poor village into the richest in the county. One day, the president of the village cooperative approached him, saying they'd buy the village's watermelons for $5 a pound and sell them for $6 in the live stream, but after all costs, they'd still lose money. Tony replied that losing money didn't matter and that the salary the cooperative paid him was enough. Then the president mentioned he was going to the county to participate in a model village selection and that his daughter would return to the village to study, asking Tony to help mentor her. Tony gladly agreed. However, when the woman returned to the village, she acted high and mighty. Upon hearing that Tony hadn't followed her orders to attend a meeting, she immediately confronted him. Seeing him still sleeping, she fired him without hesitation. Tony couldn't believe it and told her that as a top salesperson, firing him required the president's approval. But the woman suddenly recalled what her father had said and realized Tony was the most important person in the company. She was about to call her father, but just then, the president entered the elevator. Not hearing what the woman said, told her to do whatever she wanted. With her father's backing, the woman was even more determined to fire Tony. At this point, the villagers spoke up for Tony, saying he had sold many watermelons for the village and sold them at $5 a pound. However, the woman immediately countered, saying they had all been deceived by Tony, that he had bought the melons for $5 and resold them for $6 and had made a lot of money off of them. As soon as she said this, the villagers, unaware of the truth, began to blame Tony and even slapped him without hesitation. No matter how much Tony tried to explain, they refused to listen and thought he had pocketed millions of their hard-earned money. Seeing they were unreasonable, Tony angrily quit his job and posted a message on social media cutting ties with the village. The post quickly caused a stir in society, with many companies reaching out to offer Tony a position. Other companies, seeing Tony had been fired, demanded refunds. Meanwhile, the president was at the county sales ranking event, expecting to place in the top 3, but to his surprise, their village ranked last in sales. Just as the president was puzzled, his assistant informed him that the villagers were beating Tony.